The people want it, I'm going to bring it, Final 6 in Dancing with the Stars, and it's saying something. Really fun. I love it. In fact, I prefer it. I don't know what that says about me and my kind of, psyche and so on. But, if you're playing your sort of traditional hero, there are restrictions. There's rules you've got to, apply and stick to. Whereas you're playing a sort of unconventional villain or even an unconventional hero, this was sort of somewhere in the middle. It was really exciting. That opportunity definitely excited me. They're sort of boundless with where you can take them. And you're able to insert, I believe, a lot more unpredictable sort of qualities to them, And that was the intention. Anytime we felt like it was conventional or familiar, we'd go, okay, let's come at it from this angle and, let's just try and make a joke when that's the last thing you should be doing in this tragic situation and vice versa. The complexity there is, I think, he has a great amount of charisma. He didn't just get there due to his, his business smarts. He got there because he understood human behaviour and how to manipulate that to his advantage. And then on top of that, there is a lack of sort of social etiquette and inability to sort of feel empathy, I think, at times. And so it makes her a pretty wild, exciting character. I was in Australia at the time. I wanted to get work. It was during the sort of a lot of COVID restrictions and so on. We were allowed to film, but it had to be in a very closed set, safe environment. And this film came my way. It was something that we could shoot within 4 weeks in a very contained space. We turned the convention centre in Queensland into studio space. And so on a practical level, they ticked that box. On a creative level, it's a psychological thriller with darker comedic tones, a satire in there. It was a mashup of all sorts of genres and feelings. And as you said, it felt very fresh and unlike anything I'd seen before as well. And then that's the goal is to keep it interesting, not just for myself playing the character, but thinking about what an audience wants or what they have or haven't seen. I had Miles Teller. The rest of the cast was Australian. Incredible cast. Except Journey Smollett, who I hung out with Journey a little bit with Miles, but Miles came down to my place, I think for my mum's birthday at one point, actually, where my mum had a birthday party and said, come along, this will be fun. And then I showed him around and he loved it here, as most people do. We're spoiled with the sort of diversity in our locations, and you go from the sandy beaches, then you get the city and the urban landscape and so on. And so, he was impressed. Not really. I feel like the Vegemite's always the first thing they ask about, and it's the question of, do we actually eat that, No, I think a lot of the producers and the director, they had been here at other times and then were a little familiar with it. Miles was just kind of down for anything, and so showed him around. I heard about Miles' shirt off scene while we were shooting. He kept saying, you should have seen me, 2 weeks ago. I've lost it now, but a month ago, wait to see the movie. Freestyle. The only one that was like remotely choreographed, and that's not saying much, was in Ghostbusters. We had a dance coach come in and sort of choreograph this thing. The scene in the Bad Times at Air Royale was just me kind of snake hipping my way through that. It was a little bit of callback to my Dancing with the Stars days, some sort of samba or salsa or whatever. This was kind of another impromptu dance, but there was a reason behind it. It wasn't just to build up my archive of silly self-deprecating dances. It was an insight into, you often see villains or heroes on screen in amongst the action, but then I'm always wondering, what do they do when they're at home? What do they do in their spare time? And this was a chance to show this sort of oddity to this individual, that is quite a strange kind of lost soul in one regard. Yeah. My wife saw the dance and she's like, oh, you're not dancing again, are you? Stop it. I was like, the people want it, I'm going to bring it, I finished Final 6 in Dancing with the Stars, and it's saying something. Professional dancer. Yeah. Top of the IMDb page now.